So he stayed over the whole weekend.
Hiyo siku sasa hukutoka nje hata kuanika nguo, si ndio? Ulikuwa ushafanya shopping, si ndio?
Unatoka tu kununua mboga. Nothing else.
Habari yako Kemunto, hata tumesikia maneno mingi juu yako. Utakuja kisisi siku gani?
I was invited by the mom for Christmas.
Did you listen to the hot breakfast this morning? Here's what you missed.
It all started on Facebook, a Facebook romance, if you will. Someone DMs you, you start chatting for a while, and then, you know, he's probably what you've been looking for, what you've been searching for.
Yeah, there's usually that moment where you ignore, you break up with someone else. Then you look at your messages and you're like, and they're usually persistent. But let her tell us what happened exactly.
Rose, welcome to Hot 96.
Thank you so much.
Karibu sana.
Asante sana. I'm glad to be hosted by you guys.
Oh, it's great you're here.
Yes.
And we want to know this. Paul Sana, first of all, what happened? I mean, and you know, they say it happens to people every single day.
Yes.
You know, they say that a sucker is born every minute, right?
Are you calling me a sucker?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
Sucker meaning someone gullible.
Nice, all right.
But also fools are born every minute. Which is different from sucker.
That is worse.
Okay, let's just say there's one born every minute.
Yeah, someone is born every minute.
Yeah.
So, Rose, how did it start off?
My name is Rosa Kems. I go by Rosa Kems on all social medias. I met this guy on Facebook. The first time he actually DM'd me on Facebook, and we kept chatting on Facebook for a period of around 3-4 months. Just hi, how are you? How's your day? Just normal romance story, but it's only that it began on Facebook. Now, at some point we decided, because he wasn't staying in Nairobi, at some point we decided, okay, why don't you come over and visit, because I'm residing in Nairobi. The guy decides, okay, can I come to your place? I was staying alone at the time. I told him, okay, just come and visit, it's the weekend, come over.
Rose.
Come, I've been wasting my time on Facebook. It could lead to a romance. You invited a stranger to your house.
It happens. No, contrary to what most
was it the
people
rainy
would
season
be.
by any chance?
No, it wasn't raining. It wasn't cold. It was just normal season. Contrary to what other people might be hiding outside here, people do get invited over the
strangers.
Not really strangers. You think you know the person. Yes, it's a stranger, but in your head you already know the person because you've exchanged so much details about each other. Yes.
Okay, so you invite him over. It's a weekend. He comes over.
Yeah, he comes over. We basically pick up from where we left on social media. And now it's only that it's a one-on-one. And then the one-on-one, I think we were vibing. We were good. The company was good. So he stayed over the whole weekend.
Hiyo siku sasa hukutoka nje hata kuanika nguo, si ndio? Ulikuwa ushafanya shopping, si ndio?
Unatoka tu kununua mboga. Nothing else. The rest, no. The house is sufficient. Yes. So we decided that, okay, you're staying over the whole weekend, because he wasn't doing anything. He was in business at the time. So, but during that first weekend that he came over is the first weekend that he started showing signs of, I need to borrow some funds. That first weekend. Yes.
Yeah, how?
How did he ask for the money? That's a story for another day, but it's here.
What happened that led to the point?
Yeah.
I think it's just the way you guys are resting in the house, you're just having a good time, and then you see somebody is troubled, maybe just making some sounds like, so you're bound to ask, babe, Connie, what's up? What's troubling you? Why are you laughing? So what's troubling you? So he explained to me that he had this tender with one of our big organizations that he had to supply some poles to, and he wasn't able to finish that tender because he was halfway through and he needed more funding for him to be able to finish. So he also told me that he can't be paid by these guys until he finishes supplying. So I told him that's okay, but the amount of money, because the first time he asked me for 500,000, I told him the amount of money you're asking me for, I don't have it right now. So I left that story at that point for that particular day. So from there, I think we went for like a week or two with him begging me about giving him the money.
By the way, he's still staying at your place, or has he gone back?
No.
Well,
He
he
used
had
to
left.
come over the weekend, just the weekend.
Which
then-
town was he living in initially?
Which town was he living in?
He at the time he has a business in Bomet, so that's where he was spending most of his time. But he originally is from Kisii.
Yeah, a place you can't find him if you decide to go and surprise him. Like Bomet. Watch, I wait for him to come instead.
I can give you the streets. Maybe you can get him.
So the following weeks, he's still asking you, or he's still
Yes.
hinting.
So yes. So he keeps asking me, "Are you able to get the?" I think before he even approached me about the money, I think he had done his investigations, so he knew somehow I had the money. So he kept, because I do not understand how he could bug me about the money for so long when I have already told you I don't have the money. So the whole week he kept insisting that I kindly look for the money or give me the money. I'm stressed about this and this. So what I did, I asked a friend if actually spoke to one friend first if I can give the guy the money. The friend told me no, I don't think, because you guys have just recently met, I don't think it's good for you to give him the money. And I called a second friend. This second friend I had called, initially when he was in the house, I had seen him doing some checks, some payments. So what I had done is I had copied the account number, because he had already requested money from me. So I copied the account number from the checkbook, asked a friend, can you kindly just check this account for me, because I have friends in these institutions. So once the friend checked for me, and once he had done the checks, the payments that he had done, I asked him, I did a follow-up, did your checks clear? Did you pay these guys? So he told, they were checks amounting to around 2.7 million. So he told me, yes, they cleared. I've already paid those guys. They're not on my back anymore because it was another debt. So once I called a friend, did these checks clear from this account? So the friend clearly stated to me and told me, no, there's no this amount of transaction that has undergone through this account. So I asked her, what's the last transaction? I think she told me like a year ago, an amount of around 67,000 that had gone through the same account, and told me, no, I don't think your guy is genuine. But I remember after that, I still made the decision to give him the money.
Must be the
It has to where we've never felt like this before.
I think it's the way he came. I think it's the way he came into my life that I was looking for this godly, mature guy, and I felt like he was that person. And the way he presented himself to me, he was a really good Christian. So that made me not really relate. I was looking for this person who's like pulling you to the light. So I felt like he was pulling me to the light.
The light being now mambo ya God sasa.
Eh, manze.
You couldn't just take yourself to the light.
Ai, niliona hapana, inahitaji Mungu amenitumia mtu.
I know everyone who's seen you always says God has sent you someone.
So that
After all your pals have told you all the red flags, you don't give him money, his bank account doesn't have any transactions, you see him
Yes.
buying 2.7, kasema this is the devil, si ndio?
bado sijasema bado this is the devil. That's when you go back home and the convincing continues. I remember asking for the contract for the tender that he had, but he gave me another excuse. The tender was the contract was with his sister at home, so he cannot be able to give it to me. So I also asked him, can I call this organization, because I have another friend in that organization. Let me call this place and then we figure out why your payment is delaying this much. He told me, no, don't bother, I'll follow up. They'll feel like I'm using other people to follow up on a payment. So that's where I left it. So he kept insisting, kindly just lend me the money, or maybe you can borrow.
Man, that must be boring conversation after a while, huh?
By now, after you just want to be there for your man.
You get and then you're thinking you're building for your family. You're building
You're thinking ahead.
Yes. We are doing this for us.
Okay, so
Yes.
how many weeks later did you go and withdraw? What was it, 1.2?
No, the first time I did was like 500,000. That's money I had in the account at the time. So I remember I asked him if I can wire the money to him. So he told me that no, don't wire the money to me because it's going to take a bit of time. Let's just go to the bank, withdraw, and give me the money. So we did do that. We went to the bank. I withdrew 500,000, gave him in cash, just in town, and got into a coffee place, had coffee, which I paid for. We left for home.
You went
Good
back
day.
home.
We went back home. I've
Together.
given him the cash, of course, together.
Okay.
Of course, together.
By this time, have you ever been to his house?
No,
Oh.
no.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So you go back home. And
So we go back home. Of course, he goes back to Bomet where he's doing his business. He tells me he's going to use the funds to at least supply more poles. He was doing a pole supply business. So he tells me he's going back home to do, that's Bomet, to go and supply more poles, which I let him go because it's the week. It's the week, and then we are trying to finish this tender. So he went. I never heard about the finishing of the tender. But then it went on. We just continued dating, normal dating. It will go for a period of like a month or another 2 months before he comes back and asks for more money. Yes.
what do you mean?
Yes.
Okay. And the initial 500. Any?
No, the initial 500 was not back.
That's gone. That's
Not really gone. We're just waiting on this
The
guys to
payment,
pay up.
because tenders take forever to pay.
Yes, they take forever. So with that, me, I'm believing, okay, fine. So the next amount he was asking for another lump sum amount. He asked for 350. At the time, I didn't have the funds. So what he kept asking me to do is, kindly, can you borrow? I know you're in this particular organization. You're able to borrow. Yeah, I did that.
Oh no.
Yes, I did that.
So from the Sako, Ama?
I did. Two. I had a borrowing from the SACCO, another from the bank.
To make 350.
No, to make 1.2 now.
Hey. Kemunto.
Kemunto.
Tony, did you get for our visitor some water? Because
No, Rose. No, at this point, are you saying to yourself, am I really being dumb here, or am I building the family that I want to build? I mean, what's going through your mind?
Now, this is over a period of time.
What period?
We dated for 1.5 years. So the first amount is where I gave it, I think after like 4 or 5 months of dating.
Yeah.
And meeting now. Yeah. But the rest of the amount was over a period. I gave it in 3 batches. The first was the 500. I remember the 350, and then other small amounts amounting now to 1.2. So with that, there was always this was not for the tender. Now, this is also after me visiting the business place in Bomet, seeing where he lives. But the only thing I never did was maybe visit his home in Kisii. But I was always speaking to the family on phone.
In Kisii.
In Kisii, yeah.
how do you know that the family?
At this
I
point,
mean, all I have to say is, habari yako Kemunto, tumesikia maneno mingi juu yako. Utakuta Kisii siku gani?
I was invited.
Sama
for
is bro.
Christmas. I was invited by the mom for Christmas.
What? Wow.
Rose.
Yes.
Rose. Okay, and then what?
So after the total amount that I lost at that point was 1.2, but I also lost a vehicle.
Oh. Tell us about the vehicle, Rosie.
Now, just to take you back. Just to take you back.
What's his name again, this boyfriend?
His name is Daniel.
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 Now if he has 3 girlfriends like you, he must be in the Forbes list.
I remember before I gave him, I told him, how sure am I you're going to return the money? So he came up with this bright idea, which I thought was a really good idea, is let's go to a lawyer. We draft down an agreement where we're going to state the amount you're giving me and how we're going to repay it.
Yes.
So I didn't have a lawyer at the time, so he had his own lawyer. So we decided to go to his lawyer. He drafted an agreement which we signed, and then I gave him the 500. That's the first 500. So with every other money or even the car, as I handed it over, we amended the agreement. So in my head, or in this space I'm in, I'm thinking I'm safe. It's legally binding. You borrowed money, you're supposed to pay. So on her, I lost the car. Guy gets another tender, a different organization. So with the second tender, he needs like 200K to make sure he gets the tender.
To facilitate it.
To facilitate the tender. So with the 200K, at that point, I was already out of a job. I had already quit my job from where I was working.
Why?
The reason I quit my job, of course, there's normal politics in a workplace, and then you're having this person who's encouraging you. Yes, just quit because we have this business ongoing for us, and you'll be managing it, so you'll be earning a lot of money from it. And you sit down and do the math. Everything is you see like it's working. It's going to be better than what you're doing 8 to 5. So with that. I wouldn't say he did push me in a way, but I was going to quit at some point. So with the car, he told me that he needed to get 200,000, which I didn't have at the time. Remember, I've borrowed. I'm out of a job, and then all the savings I have, I've already given it to him.
And him, did he own a car himself?
He owned a Mercedes-Benz which was stuck in the garage from the time we met until the time we separated, which I never got to see.
Oh, okay. Mercedes-Benz in the garage.
Stuck in the garage.
Oh, stuck.
Did he at one point even have a relative in hospital he needs to pay?
No.
Anyway,
Yes, so with the 200,000 that he needed, I didn't have it at the time. So we decided, okay, what you can do is, because the logbook is in your name, we can go to this institution, lending institutions. Yes, in town, and this really bad ones, where their interest rates are really high.
They're called Shylock.
Yes. So we decide, okay, let's go with your logbook. We sign it off. He tells me within a month, I'll be able to give you the 200,000. You just repay it. So I tell him, yes, that's okay. We go to the financial institution, we get the lending, I hand over the logbook, I sign off the documents. Remember, the car, just take you back a little bit again, the car I had was a matatu. So the matatu, I was using it Namanga route. With the Namanga route. So he came into my life and told me, like, this driver, wanakusumbua sana. Let me get this matatu, have it transporting my workers at the farm, and then I'll be paying you this amount every month. At that time, we agreed at 60K every month. So I told him that's okay. Add it in the agreement. You have the car, go with it to Bomet. So the guy had gone with the car to Bomet. He had not even paid the first month. So we take a loan with the lending institution of 200,000. First month goes by, he doesn't repay. I'm out of a job, so I do not have any other income coming in. My business is already with him. So the second month, because they give you like 3 months, the second month, he's still not paying. The third month, they're calling. So the third month, they're like, we have to go and tow the car. So at that time, he was in my house. I remember when I was called for that, he was in the house. So I told him, these guys are asking for their funds, and if you're not going to pay, they're coming to tow the car from Bomet. He told me, can you just kindly talk to them and tell them I'll pay on Monday? But I had already done so many excuses to these guys that I didn't know what else to say to make them believe that I was going to pay, because personally I was depending on somebody else.
And the guy is what? He has no feelings, so he's
opening his Bible and reading the Bible.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
What he was doing what?
Opening his Bible and reading it.
Reading some Bible verses.
A person who gives is a person who receives. Somebody say amen.
I'll tell you.
Rose, are you kidding me?
I'm telling you, he was such a Christian that I think every day you sit down and pray and read the Bible verse, and then he encourages you. It's the man I was looking for. I was looking for that godly man, but I found something else.
Did you guys also start wearing the matching vitenges on Sunday to go to church?
No. Not on Sunday, on Saturday. He was seventh day.
Yeah.
We're seventh day.
Mlienda kwa fundi mukapima
Acha tu.
na wewe ndio ukalipa, si ndio?
Sikulipa, tujapima hiyo, lakini tulikuwa we were like, sasa tutakuwa tunakunywa soya and stuff. Like, nyama, we are eliminating meat from our diet.
Yes.
Yes. But yeah. So from there, the car was towed from Bomet. So that's how I lost the car. But remember, for me, I'm at a point where I'm thinking I'm safe because it's in the agreement. I've given you the car, so even if I've lost it through your hands. But so far nothing has ever been paid.
And
So you continue to just give and append an agreement for how long?
Agreement in my car, and every time I kept like once in a while, once I see it's gone for too long, I'd contact a lawyer, like, kindly get in touch with this guy, how do we move forward. He'd come up with another agreement. I'm not able to make the 100k payment every month, so now let's reduce it to 50. From 50, the next agreement will be let's reduce it to 20, but he'd never make even one payment.
He has never paid a single cent.
Never.
Na saa hizo kijana anatoka Bomet anakuja kwa nyumba anapikiwa, muneomba usiku inafika.
There's a time. I think the way he had mastered his ways or his whatever job, I'd call it a job at this point, is there's a time that he even took me to a house. I remember we went to church. We were going to Maxwell. And then he had already informed me that he had these 2 homes in Nairobi when we had initially met. He had these 2 homes in Nairobi. One, he had lost it through a court case with his ex-girlfriend. And then the second one, he had rented it out. So I asked him, okay, it's a home in Hurlingham. Let's go check it out. I need to know why it is. So he told me, let's go. On a Saturday, we are done with the church. We pass by the place. We get to the home. We get outside the gate. He shows me this is the house, but there's a tenant. And the tenant is outside the country. He's a foreigner, so we cannot trespass. But I'm just showing you, this is my house.
There's no guard at the gate.
I think when the Bible talks about
Nothing.
Trespassing, let me just Google.
Please
Lead us not into.
we shouldn't trespass. And also just to mention, when we started dating, I think like a month or 2 months into, a month after meeting, now physical meeting, I remember I had quite a number of, it was not quite a number, just like 2 people who had contacted me and told me, this guy that you're dating is a con man. He swindled me, he swindled my mother. They even stated the amount. They sent me the evidence, but then they're doing this at work. So I'm thinking, what's going on? So I called the guy. I'm like, hey, who are these people who are contacting me about you? So his explanation is, these are just jealous ex-girlfriends. When this story came out, these guys wrote to me again and told me, we had warned you about this person. He's yet to even repay
Them.
he's yet to repay them. So they're like, we warned you about it.
But you were in love, weren't you?
I was in love, and then I'm thinking, these are jealous ex-girlfriends. What do you want with us?
I'm waiting for the part you said you called them so to amend that original lawyer's letter to include them. Kemunto. Kemi. Do people call you Kemi?
People call me Kems.
Kems.
Yes. Rosa Kems.
Rosa
Yes.
Kems, eh? Just give me your number. I also have a tender. I need to work.
And then once the story is out, it's like people still think you're in the same position you were in. Remember, at that time, you had a business, you had a good job going for you. People still call you for trying to scam you. Like, for the past 1 week, it's just been emails and emails of guys trying to get something out.
What?
You're like, I'm not in the same position. Right now.
Tell me, okay, when did you get rid of him?
I got rid of him. Actually, he got rid of me. I didn't get rid of him.
Oh.
He got rid of me in 2017, mid 2017 there. So he told me one day he just he wasn't in the house, but he came very early in the morning at around 6 in the morning. So knocked, told me, can we have a talk? I told him that's okay. So he told me, I do not feel like it's working out between us. I feel like I'm dragging your life down. I'm in so much debt. So at that point, I think I had already come to a realization that honestly, there's stuff going on here, because I know at that point he was also aiming for my pension, which I was getting from the other employer, but because I already had another discussion with a family member, I made sure that I directed, once I got the money, I just sent the money to the family member. I didn't have anything to give him. He came and told me, it's not working out. So at that point, I just told him, that's okay, but how do you plan on repaying this amount? So he told me, I'll stick to the agreement. I'll start paying. It's only that things have not been working out, but I'll start repaying you the amount as we had agreed.
And just like that,
he
walked away.
He walked away. I've never looked for him. The only time maybe I'd look for him is asking him, are you going to repay or not? That's it.
5 years later, not a penny has been paid back.
Nothing, zero.
Have you let go of that amount?
The amount?
Have you let go? Like,
sometimes
agreed that it's not coming back?
Sometimes I think I have, but then once in a while you find something that is pulling you back to that same. I work in the finance sector, so once in a while, sometimes they're looking at your history. They're trying to find this background checks on you, and then they find this issue. So you find somebody bringing it up. So I thought I had until now that I had to speak about it. Yes.
Oh, after you've spoken about it, you realize it's okay to.
It's okay to let go, but he's also come back in the picture.
Oh, what is happening here, lady?
Personally, I'm not even in contact with him because he tried getting in contact with me, but
what did he say?
I just directed him to my lawyer, and from the lawyer's conversation, he's promised again to start paying in April.
Wow. I think who are these lawyers you deal with?
Now the one that I'm dealing with right now is my family lawyer, my sister. Yes.
And he's promised in 2 months' time he's going to start paying.
He's going to start paying.
And the first lawyer that drafted, he's his lawyer. Is he a real lawyer? Is he because you know some of these things that you write down.
I went to the offices. He's a real lawyer, but I think they have a personal relationship too. Yeah.
Has he tried to reach out to you personally?
The lawyer?
No.
The guy? No, except for the call that he made this week, and I directed him to the lawyer. No. No, he's never tried
No WhatsApp, no text.
No, nothing. No, nothing. But I know he's scammed a lot of other people after me.
How do you know this?
I have friends. And these friends tell you the stories. They tell you, from the time he left your house, he went to the next lady. From what I hear, he scammed her 5 million, but he was able to refund a bit of the money.
A bit is like how much? 500,000.
Sikuwa nataka kujua details.
Because that is a net profit of 4.5.
This Daniel fella is.
He has skills.
He has skills.
He has skills.
So are you dating anymore?
Currently, no. I'm not looking. I'm not dating. I'm good.
Because I know a self-respected, God-fearing gentleman
get into the same problems
who
again.
wants kids and likes girls with glasses, especially.
Rose, what about going to the DCI, going to the police, going that?
That's a civil matter. Once you've written it down,
Yes.
you guys already have an agreement, so it's a civil matter.
So you can't.
You can even append it down to 1,000 shillings. There's nothing you can do.
What?
Don't give him ideas. Read
the law, Bwana. Jeff. The law is very clear.
What he's saying is true.
The law is very clear.
But he agreed to pay back 1.2.
Now that's where people go wrong. Anything that is written is not really binding if someone knows how the system works.
It's true. But I did report the case to Central Police. Yes. I think he was arrested for... At some point he had issued me with a check, but which he didn't honor. So I did go to Central Police. He was arrested, but I don't know how he got out after a day.
It's a bailable offense, and you're entitled to your freedom. It's in the Constitution. You're innocent until proven guilty.
You know a lot about this stuff.
I read the Constitution. It's a book that's sold.
Maybe he might be having the skills. Are you practicing
I think
your
he's got skills.
Are you
I'm
using
just a
them?
very intelligent person.
Just to mention also, he also at the time when we got into the business, I also introduced my brother-in-law to him. My brother-in-law invested 350. Yeah.
Gone.
So mine is just separate.
Gone like
gone.
Kaiser Sose.
Yes.
Disappeared.
And he actually went to where the place of the business where the poles were being delivered. He was shown, this is where we are doing the deliveries, this is the organization, but because they were doing it through him, the money just kapoofed.
So what would you tell the young girls out here seeking love and investing in BC naysayers for strangers?
Because this is happening every day, obviously.
Yes, it's happening every day. Actually, we've come to a realization that it's happening a lot, especially in marriages. Guys are getting scammed in marriages.
What?
A lot.
Someone marries you so you can get a loan?
You take loans for people. You take loans, let's say for husbands or wives, whichever party is now scamming the other. But you take these loans and invest them, only investing in your partner, only realizing that this partner is using these funds for another party. So you're left repaying the debts on your own for the longest, and maybe you're not staying together. It's happening a lot.
Good grief.
It's happening a lot. But the kind of feedback we've gotten, especially after the story coming out, is a lot of people who've undergone the same thing. It's only that they're scared of talking about it, and also coming, like personally for myself, it took a lot of convincing from her for me to speak it out, because I come from a financial background. I'm a finance analyst. So if I'm the one who's advising people about these things, and then I'm the same person who's been scammed, then it's like your word doesn't mean anything to these people you're advising. Kindly follow us on YouTube. The channel is called Talk It Out 254. It's a channel we started recently, me and my friends. Reason that we started is because of the Swindler, but more stories are coming up, more life experiences. It's all about just doing life.
That's right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Rose Kemunto.